Yo, what's good, everybody, man? We back with Ahsoka, final episode, the grand finale.
Thanks.
I got my co-host with me, my boy Ace to the left.
We here, baby. Let's do it.
That's what's up, and I got my boy Moses to the right.
Back at it again, season finale.
All right. We're gonna jump right into it, man. I'm gonna start with Moses.
Thanks.
This is the finale. It's supposed to be what we've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Was it everything that you've been waiting for and what you thought about it as an overall before we get into dissecting it?
It was a lot about what I was waiting for. A lot of our predictions in the past came true. I feel like a lot of things were resolved, but at the same time, I feel like some things could have been handled a little bit better. But I always do. But I'm comfortable with it. I like it.
Okay. Ace, how you feel about in terms of overall? Then we're gonna get into each separate little pieces.
It took me on a high when I came in, but the way it ended, I don't know, bro. I mean, I was thrown for a loop, but I mean, the climactic part of the series, as far as the way it was coming up, it was good. It ain't the best episode for me. I'd probably say it's like a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so some of your do's and don'ts of the episode, you feel like were what?
The ending. I mean, most Star Wars, they leave you in the hang. You know, even when Han Solo was in the carbonite,
Mm-hmm.
they left you in the hang. When Luke got his hand cut off, they left you in the hang. But we got 4 major characters: Baylan Skoll, Shin Hati, because I don't never say it right. Moses always got to correct me. Ahsoka and Sabine. We don't know. Like, they left in limbo. We really don't know what's going on with them. I mean, it's good that they finally ended a series. Most series ends where the hero always wins. So they ended it where Thrawn actually brings the Empire back. So that's good for the Star Wars universe. But for those are 4 major players of the story. Mm-hmm. And we don't even know what's going. We don't know if Ahsoka's going to die of old age on that plane. Mm-hmm. Or we don't even know if when Homeboy gets into the temple, where he's at, when he's on the statue, when Baylan Skoll finally gets into the temple, is he going to die or is he going to get stronger in the Force? We don't know. So it's just like they really haven't given us any like to know where they're going. But we know where Ezra's going. We know where the army's going to go, and we definitely know where Thrawn is going, and that's to take over the whole empire. So that's what we do know.
Yeah, and I mean I kind of agree with you a little bit in terms of, for me, it was an overall good episode. I just think the ending kind of, but I've been saying it the whole series. Like I had a feeling that they was gonna leave us with an ending, and it's almost like a letdown, but it's still like I want more. Like I'm ready for the new season or the new series or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in terms of like dissecting the episode, Moses, what were some of your top moments, and what were some of your like, they could have did without that?
Well, I like it per se. I don't feel negative about it. I do feel like it left us off at a lot of points with things to happen, but I do feel like we know where it's gonna go. Especially I feel like they're heading to Dathomir, so I do know that the Night Sisters might get started again, which I like because they wiped out the Night Sisters. I want them back, so we might get them back. Ezra's back from almost nearly a decade, so I feel good about that. That's another high point of my episode. Low point for me is the death of Morgan Elsbeth as soon as she got Mother Talzin's sword, because I do feel like she was one of the characters that I feel like she carried a bit more weight, towards the series. To just be killed off at the end. I do understand that she's dedicating it to Dathomir now and not just Thrawn, but if they can rebuild it, then her death won't be in vain. So that's why I like that the sisters are going back to Dathomir. Thrawn will probably drop them off there and then continue on with the ways, let them resurrect some sisters or whatever they'll do. They'll continue the teaching. Mm-hmm. They have Night Brothers there still, so they can probably continue that. Another point that I think that they could have sped up was with Sabine's Force powers when she was getting them, and then like Ezra and them just taking a minute to be like, hey, yo, we're gonna do this, because we've been saying we've been building this trust between them for the whole season. So we don't need the hesitation moment of, yo, can I trust you? Can I trust you? No, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. We get that over with, so we can have more time in the episode for other things. Because just the end with Balin's skull, just with the hand pointed over to the shining whatever in the distance, we could have had a bit more time on those things like that and Shinhati. So I do think that they could have trimmed out other parts in the episode. Ahsoka and Sabine being there, I did feel like they still had to be left back there because Hu Yang was still there with the ship, so somebody had to stay. I felt I'm alright with that, with it not just being one of them and her Padawan staying with her so that they can finish their training, at least with a bit less distractions, because now she's not worried about Ezra going home or worried about Mandalore right now. She's giving more trust into the Force, which is finally some development with Sabine's character, which I'm finally like, alright, I can stand watching you on the screen.
I don't think I agree fully with that because they was on the ship, man. I don't think that they should have been left behind. I think that they should have made it into that shit that Thrawn and them shot off with. Some way they should have latched on to his ship and got up out of it. You know what I mean? That's just me. But Ace, in terms of when it comes to Balin's skull, because you mentioned something about that earlier, and how they left off with him. What are your thoughts about that, and where do you see that going further into the future? Because of course we know the actual actor has died. So how do you think they're gonna try to fast forward that where they left us at?
Speculation. So if I'm going off of speculation, how I feel, I want them to do more with the character, at least expand how he's going to get powerful, how Shinhanti's going to get powerful, because remember she went to the camp of those raiders, and so we want to see how that goes. But the only issue that we got is one, homeboy passed, and then number two, they haven't picked up the series. So the only thing that we do know is that Dave Filoni is making the movie, and so the movie is supposed to more expand on the side of Thrawn. So I don't know what they're going to do in regards to, are they going to even pick the story up and keep it going because we don't have Ray Stevenson anymore. So that when we look at it from that perspective, all right, who's going to replace Ray Stevenson? We got to get somebody to replace him. Second off, how the writers are going to write it and what is the fan base saying, because the fan base is more asking for the movie because we haven't had a Star Wars movie in a long time. So they want a movie more than they want a series. And so is the movie going to pick up with Thrawn and Ezra? Or is the movie going to pick up with Balin's skull? Now, the only good thing I know we'll finally get an answer to find out who the heck is this cat that swayed Kylo Ren to the dark side, because he comes up under Thrawn's era. So we don't know who he is. The guy who swayed it, and I forget his name. I know Moses probably remember his name, but the guy with the messed up face who Kylo Ren killed in the second episode. And so we're going to find out where he came from, because from what I'm hearing, he's actually Snoke, there you go. Snoke is some kin, or he was put together by the Night Sisters. So that's a good storyline that they could put together with Snoke, because everybody's wondering where the heck Snoke came from. Who is Snoke? Is he related to Palpatine? Is he this, he's that? And then some people are also saying that Thrawn is a better villain than Palpatine. So we're gonna really get something good coming from that.
So Moses, Ace touched on the Balin skull side of things, and we mentioned 4 characters, which is Balin skull, Ahsoka and Sabine, and Shinhati. And at the end, we seen Shinhati go to the camp with the raiders, and she lift up her lightsaber. In your speculation or the knowledge that you have, where do you see that story playing out and how they left us, wanting to find out where that goes?
Like I said before, I feel like there could have been a little bit more exposition for what would happen for them. But I do like the potential. I do like that Balin skull is going in one direction towards whatever was that source of power on this planet, because we realized that he recognized it. So it had something to do with the Mortis guys, which was one of our theories as well. So I'm glad to see where that goes. Shinhati with the Raiders, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I don't know where that's going. I don't know if she's gonna lead them as like the leader, or join them and learn their ways and gain like civility or like a sense of family or worth or place, or if she gonna go there on some Anakin shit and kill all of them and just start hunting down Balin or something. Or Ahsoka might find her as well and then have a second Padawan. But she has a lot of potential, but I just don't know what they're gonna do with it. I'm not interested in her character that much yet.
Okay, and that was my next question for both of y'all. At some point, because all of these characters are still kind of trapped on this planet with no way back, do you think that we're ever going to get a chance to see an interaction between one or two or all of these characters?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a reunion at least between a couple of them. I think that they're gonna see each other again. Either if we get a movie or a season 2. Either way, I think that they're gonna reconnect, but we're gonna have to finish these 2 storylines first and find a way to bridge the 2 galaxies back together, or universes back together. No, galaxies.
Definitely. For sure. Ace?
More than likely, I think that because you think of it right now, Ahsoka them are with the Shell people, and the people who try to kill the Shell people are the Raiders. So basically, you're gonna probably, I think Shin Hati and Sabine gonna finally get that last fight. Maybe Sabine will finally kill Shin Hati because she has the Mandalorian way as well as the Jedi way. So I think that I don't think Ahsoka, because she's not even in the class of Ahsoka, Shin Hati. But I think that Balin, his mindset is not even fighting anybody because he's already proven that he's a better fighter than everybody on the planet. So his whole mindset is power. He wants more power. So the only thing that we possibly could see from Balin is that he can take the story somewhere else where we can actually see someone who is really deeply in the dark side. So if he gets deeply, he could possibly be even more powerful than Palpatine. So we'll get to see what comes on with that.
Okay, and I got a next question for y'all, being that y'all brought that up, right? Why do you think Disney kind of left the ending the way it is in terms of Shin Hati and Balin Skull, if there really isn't much of a future in their characters, especially because the actor has died in Balin Skull? Why not just make a scene where he's killed off and then it kind of closes that door, especially for Balin Skull and for Shin Hati? You know what I'm saying? If she really doesn't have an individual storyline to carry her any further, why leave the fans with just an open-ended nothing character? Because for me, I would rather them say, okay, kill off Shin Hati and leave Morgan Ezra alive, because to me, she plays more of a part in what's going forward with Thrawn in the new Republic. You know what I mean?
I used to trade Morgan Elsbeth's death for shit.
I mean, it makes sense in terms of which character has more value to where we kind of see where it's going, because whatever Thrawn's doing, Morgan Ezra being alive would have been better than Shin Hati.
Well, I think in a sense, because Shin Hati has a lot more potential, because Morgan Elsbeth has already gone through the Night Sister trials. She's been there with. I do understand that her death is still premature, but Shin Hati still has a lot more potential than her character.
How?
Even though
Morgan Ezra just got power. She got the power of Shadow.
Yeah, but Shin Hati is a young force sensitive. I'm not even going to say in between the Sith and in between Jedi. You get me? So that's.
But I know, and I'm not saying like what her powers is, but yes, she has all that. But now she's trapped in a galaxy where.
Well, she needs training. That's what.
Training ain't gonna get her back, because Ezra had all the training he couldn't get back.
She needs training, or else there's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be the main thing about it. She needs to be trained.
What you say is
Star Wars basis. It's kind of like if you take Captain America out of Marvel, it ain't the same. So the whole point is Jedi's and Sith is the whole point. So the Night Sisters has been teased upon throughout the Star Wars universe, but we really don't really care too much about Night Sisters. No disrespect to Night Sisters. But Jedi has always been, how was this person trained? How was this person become? How did he get swayed to the dark side? How did he do this? And in the powers of a Jedi, I mean, we all know this. If Bela Skull went up against those Night Sisters and all the people, he would have offed all the jokes.
Definitely.
Because he has the power to do that. So Shin Hati has to reach that level to where Bela Skull is. But Bela Skull is looking at all-time Jedi, all-time Sith power. So that's what he wants. I do agree that we could have not killed off Morgan Ellsworth, but one thing that we do know, why we can say she can come back, is if they can make zombies, then they can make her zombie.
Well, she is a part of the Thousand Voices.
Yeah.
Now.
So basically, if the sisters want to ever resurrect her,
they bring her back. It doesn't work like that. But they can communicate with her through death, but they can't resurrect her anymore. Well, if they do resurrect her, it's just gonna be like a zombie.
But that's what I mean. As far as if you want to bring her character back as a zombie, you can.
Nah, because they already portrayed the revived ones as messed up and stuff.
No, I'm not expecting her to act, but I'm just saying they can bring her back if they want to bring her back.
Wouldn't be much potential in doing that. But that was a good question though. Why did they leave Shin Hati? That's a good question. So what is gonna happen for her character? Maybe that was the end of her training from Bale and Skull. Maybe that was him saying that this is probably for you. Or she probably still has some more left to go. But I don't know how long he's been teaching her. If it's like traditional Jedi ways, it's then from she was a child.
So Ace, is there anything that we might have left out, or you want to discuss? Any points you want to touch on? Any final notes to give us?
Just want to see the movie. I mean, my mindset is right now they ain't pick up a season for Ahsoka 2. And nobody, no writers, anybody. And Dave Filoni, his whole output is on the movie. He's ready to do the movie and release the movie. So that's what he's on. We do know that they did pick up a season for Boba Fett, and they did pick up a season for Mandalorian. So we'll see where they go with that in the Star Wars universe. I didn't like the way they ended the series. I think that it could have ended a whole lot better. Because I mean, we got four main characters in limbo. It's like throwing somebody in a black hole and saying, "Hey, you just go swim. Go swim in the black hole and let me know what happened." We don't know what's going to happen with anybody. The only person whose storyline will probably be a must-watch. I don't think Sabine is a must-watch. I don't think Ahsoka is a must-watch. I don't even think Shin Hati is a must-watch. But whatever is going to happen with Bale and Skull, if they want to do a series on that, whatever, I'm all for it. But everybody else, if it was up to me, kill off Shin Hati, kill off Sabine, maybe do something with Ahsoka, and definitely bring something with Bale and Skull. Because Bale and Skull, whatever's going on with him, it's way too mysterious. So it's going to definitely be dope. But that's how I feel.
Okay, Moses, give us your final thoughts, man, on not just the ending of this episode, but the whole season in general. What you think?
Well, just to say, he wants to kill off Sabine when she's just getting good. The writing just kicked up on her character, so I'm liking that. So I know we've been hating on her all series, but I guess that they just saved the writing for the last half of this episode. But hopefully that can carry over to the future. As for the whole season, looking back on it from the beginning, Ahsoka looking for Thrawn, to her flying with Hugh Yang, to her re-recruiting Sabine to finish up the job, and all of the exposition that we went through. It is an Ahsoka series, but at the same time it does give us a lot of continuation for Rebels. But not to get lost in nostalgia. But I think it could have been stronger at some points. I think that they could have devoted a bit more than just that one episode for Anakin and her flashbacks to training, because that is her master, and if it's an Ahsoka series, we should pay a bit more attention to her connection with her master and the descent of how she felt when fighting him in Rebels. We could have probably gotten like a reenactment of that live action when they were in the temple, or at least a flashback to it. We could have gotten a couple bit more. We could have gotten a lot more things, but what we did get, I'm satisfied with it. I do think that we have potential to get a bit more, and I'm here for it. A couple of the Easter eggs that we did see from Rebels, the series, Ezra used to dress up a lot like clone troopers. So when we saw him at the end, he's gonna add that night helmet to his collection. Because you did see a collection of his helmets as well back on Lothal in Sabine's place.
Mm-hmm.
So probably he's going to go back there because that's his planet where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably going to come all the way full circle. So either if they pick it up movie-wise or if they pick it up series-wise, I'm going to be here for it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. It felt good. This is less of a movie that you would, of the writing and more of a feel type of movie for the Star Wars watchers, you know.
Okay.
You gotta take a feel from it. And you get both sides. You got your jaded Star Wars fans, and then you got the ones that are like, screw it. Screw it.
So in terms of, let's give it a grade.
Grade, the last episode, I'll give the last episode compared to the rest of the season, I'll give it an 8.5, or probably a low 9. But for the whole series, Ahsoka, I'll stamp it at a nice 7.5.
For the series? Okay. Ace, give it a grade.
5.
Okay. I can't say you tripping. It's your opinion,
it's
man.
A 5. Only reason why I say it's a 5 is because I think they left a lot of things unturned. Like even when you watched the way they ended The Mandalorian, you knew Homeboy wasn't dead. That was one of the best things that they did. That Homeboy wasn't dead. That he was coming back, and then you saw so much happen in each episode. I just don't like the way they ended. I think if we were mid-season, I would be with Moses, 8.5. Even when they got up to when they finally seen Ezra, it was an 8.5. But I think the last 2 episodes, I think that it went down. It went down. So I give it a 5. I think out of all the series, it's not the worst one. I'm gonna go with Andor as the worst one. But I'm gonna go with Andor as the worst one. But the only reason why I'm saying that is this the first Jedi series that we've gotten from Star Wars, an actual Jedi series. No, actually it's the second because Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was the Jedi series. So, but I would expect more from Ahsoka Tano because Ahsoka Tano is basically like she's the legend behind Anakin Skywalker. This is Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. So she has to be one of the sickest Jedis ever, and I think that the way they ended it. Plus, on top of that, I'm gonna tell you this too. Everybody was so happy to see Ezra, but Ezra was a punk.
Facts.
He was a punk. He got thrown against the wall by Shin Hati, talking about I don't need a Jedi. The best part to the whole thing with him was when he found a piece to his to Homeboy when he was making his
bro was gone for
like even one of the zombies threw him when they was fighting on the ridge. One of the zombies had him choking him out.
Let me tell you something.
What do y'all think Ezra was?
Let me tell you something.
Strategist or something?
Let me tell you something.
What was he though?
Obi-Wan was gone.
Just that goof off. That's
Obi-Wan was gone for a decade and came back as G.
Nah, but that Obi-Wan was a Jedi Knight though. You have to Ezra, and you can't even see.
But Ezra was what, a Padawan?
He was a Padawan.
Well,
because
his teacher never finished his training. He was a Padawan when Order 66 happened, and his master, because we saw his master die at the beginning of Bad Batch. That's the animated series with some clones. So his master died. So when he was a kid, he ran away. So he was still a kid. So his training wasn't finished. And he changed his name to Caleb, to Kanan, and cut off his ponytail and then joined the rebellion. Ahsoka was the start of the rebellion after Order 66. So she kind of started it with Mon Mothma.
But the only issue that I have is that prior to the Ahsoka series, they built up Ezra as this rebel leading guy who sent Thrawn in the exile. Because if I don't know the backstory and I'm just watching Ahsoka before we meet Ezra, I'm thinking, Ezra's that guy, man. Like that's the way they built it up in the first couple of episodes. Because it's like
nothing like that. They were just like, he's your brother. I understand that.
But how did he get? But what made him so important to get cast away on? No, what do you mean space whales?
He used the Force to connect with the whales. The whales took Thrawn and him away.
Yeah, but why? That's what I'm saying. Why in the Star Wars universe, right? Why would you take a geeky nobody and put them in that most important position to say that the most powerful villain that we've been talking about now, or the villain that's him now has been defeated by the most geeky non-Jedi Knight Padawan.
Now you know what I have a problem with. I'm gonna tell you what I have a problem with. Thrawn now is about to bring the Empire into existence, and the only person who's rising up against Thrawn is a soft Padawan named Ezra. We don't have nobody to fight.
Yo,
we don't have nobody to fight.
Ezra, I think he's killed Inquisitors, and at the same time, I also think he almost fell to the dark side. So, like, there's stuff that he's done.
Well, I don't know, man. Free Ahsoka and Sabine, man.
We need some t-shirts, for real.
I mean, to wrap it up for me, man, honestly, I'm a little bit closer to Moses. I would go probably a good 7, and the reason I can't go any higher is because the way they ended us off, man. I think that they accomplished what they set out in the first episode to accomplish, was to go get Ezra and bring him back. Go get Thrawn and bring him back. And throughout the series, that's what we've been leading up to. But unfortunately, it came at the cost of leaving Sabine, leaving Ahsoka, leaving Shin Hati, and of course, Bail Skull wanted to be left, so we can't even say leaving him. But we left all these other main characters back on that galaxy.
Right? But who cares? Ezra's home. Let's go.
But you just said Ezra's a geek, so who cares if Ezra's home?
No, y'all said Ezra.
You said it. We gonna rewind the tape.
That's what
you said.
I said Ezra is a goofball. I said Ezra is a goofball.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But who cares about a goofball?
That's the same thing.
Of course, Ezra is great, bro. And what was the whole of Rebels for? We followed this kid through.
But that was our point that we was making earlier. Is that they built up Ezra as if he was this knight in shining armor that saved the rebellion and cast Thrawn away. Only for us now to meet him. See, you know a different story because you go deeper into the storyline of the canon and the legends and all that type of stuff. But I'm saying for a casual Star Wars fan who just watching and don't know about none of this stuff, and they just watching Ahsoka for the first time, and you sitting there, you watch the first 3 episodes, your interpretation of Ezra is you're gonna think he's a wild Jedi Knight, like he's up there with Obi-Wan and them, because they made it seem as if he's the reason that he won the rebellion by casting Thrawn into this other galaxy and end up having to go there with him and get stuck, and now it's a big thing to bring him back. Only to find out that when they get there, he's this goofball, he's not a Jedi. The clones and the zombies is choking him up.
I just don't feel the same way. I don't feel like the first 3 episodes made us feel like he was a big strategist.
No, I didn't say strategist. I said soldier, like he was a big Jedi Knight.
The only problem I have with it is this, right? If Vader was able to find Obi-Wan, he'll kill him. If Palpatine was able to find Yoda, he'll kill him. This dude Ezra and Thrawn was on the same planet for 10 years. And Thrawn was just saying, oh, he's not a threat. Let him just play with the turtle people because he's not a threat.
Ezra wasn't even looking for Thrawn. He didn't want no smoke, bro.
But that's the whole point. My whole point is this, and then they brought him home, and they're stranded. And like, to me, I just think this.
He didn't say that he wasn't a threat. He said that he eluded our capture.
But even then, man, you're a Jedi. You're supposed to bring peace to the galaxy. What kind of
did bring peace to the galaxy? He got rid of Thrawn.
Listen, but that's what I'm trying to say. But because even in the end, it seemed like he wasn't even trying to stop Thrawn. He was just trying to get a ride home. That's how he was. To me, my interpretation was he was okay with Thrawn going back to rebuild the rebellion. He ain't got no long as he could get a ride back home.
He ain't got no heart. That's all. He ain't got no heart.
Because Ahsoka's mission was trying to kill. Ahsoka's mission was trying to stop Thrawn. At all costs.
But remember, he's been there for like damn near a decade.
I understand.
And he heard that the Empire is gone and that they won. So he's not worried. He wasn't worried about this. I don't think he didn't want Thrawn to. I don't think he wanted Thrawn to go back in the first place. But at the same time, I feel like they wanted to go back with him.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's the whole point. If me and you was enemies, and we was enemies from Massachusetts. and I see you in Florida, it's smoke. I can't now be like, oh, nah, we ain't in Massachusetts no more, man. We cool. And you hunting me down. So now I'm on the run.
It wasn't cool.
No, I'm not saying that they cool, but what I'm saying is that Thrawn is hunting Ezra for the decade that they was on that planet. Thrawn is hunting Ezra. And Ezra ain't doing nothing but running. He ain't looking for Thrawn to be like, yo, you know what, let me kill his
baby. He woke up the Night Sisters, and he doesn't even have a lightsaber.
It's a lot of excuses about why.
There are no kyber crystals on this planet.
But he's a Jedi.
If any one of the Jedi's was there, if Yoda was there, he would have fought them.
Without a lightsaber?
Of course. If Obi was there, he would have fought them.
I think Yoda would have gone into hiding.
No, Yoda only went into hiding because
frogs.
Yoda only went into hiding because they literally had a 1,000,000-man clone army, and they had two Jedis, and they had to preserve the Force with Jedis. They had to protect the twins. That's the only reason why he went into hiding. He wouldn't have went into hiding versus no Thrawn, because Thrawn ain't got no Force. He's not Force sensitive.
The witches are.
Alright, Moses.
Ain't nobody worried about no witches resurrecting all of these dead guys.
Ain't nobody worried about no witches, man. Ain't nobody worried about no witches. Ain't nobody worried about. Listen, when we talk about a Jedi,
Ezra's scared, man.
Ezra, listen, you don't want to admit it, but he's soft. He's caught. Of all the Jedis in the history of Jedis, Ezra's the bottom of the totem.
I wouldn't even consider him that much of a Jedi, bro. You get me?
Yeah, but that's the whole point that I'm making. If we talking about Jedi and Sith, why are we making it so much about Ezra coming home? Because he's coming home to do what? Because if Thrawn is coming back to rebuild the rebellion, Republic.
Why can't they just come home? Why can't they just want to bring him home?
For what?
To bring back Ezra.
And then my whole point is you bring back Ezra, but you leave Ahsoka, who is a Jedi soldier to fight the Republic.
Know why this don't make any sense? This would don't make sense. We bring back someone. So you tell them you're going to bring back cancer, and you're going to bring back somebody screaming cancer. Because literally, he's a cancer. What he's about to do is, he's about to kill so many people. We're going to lose so many people because of Thrawn. And we fighting cancer with ice cream? Ice cream can't fight cancer?
But Sabine is the reason why they left. Ahsoka would have stopped them.
We know that. And the point
is the whole point.
And that's the reason why I'm saying the point I made. The reason why I made this, I said, listen, it's up to me. I'm killing off Sabine. I'm killing off Shinhati. And let's focus on the actual fighters of the series. When we look at Star Wars, we have a strong antagonist and we have a strong hero. That's how it's always been. A strong antagonist and a strong hero. Now we're moving on to there's a strong antagonist and there's a hero who wants to maybe be a farmer.
But I'm working with what we got here, man. I can't be just... If it was up to me, Ahsoka would have never had Sabine as an apprentice in the first place. You get me? But we're here. So Ezra's home and Ahsoka and them is gone. Ezra was there for a decade. Ahsoka and them are there for a couple months so far. I think they have a couple of years until I'm sad.
Nah, I'm not sad. I'm just saying I don't understand what's the purpose of Ezra coming back. What's the purpose of even...
The galaxy gonna lose. They're gonna lose millions.
Everybody who wanted Ezra to come home, y'all like something. Y'all make something in the comment and say what made it so special. Ezra coming home and Ahsoka getting stuck on his other galaxy. Because to me, Ezra's soft, man. When the Republic get built with Thrawn, he gonna be trying to go back to get Ahsoka to help fight.
And you let me know also in the comments. I want to find this out. Where would you rather be? Home with Ezra or on that planet with Ahsoka Tana? Because at least you know you're safe. Because when Thrawn gets a hold of you with them night witches and night sisters, guess what?
Moses, get the people your social media, man.
Moses Time Media, Time with a Y, Instagram, and Moses Time.
Ace
Lombardi, man, on IG. Y'all make sure y'all follow.
Y'all already know, boy. It's your boy Shooter, man. Follow us on Instagram at Tree Culture, at Tree Culture _studios, and at Tree Culture Radio, man. Stay tuned in with us, man. This is the last episode of the Ahsoka series. But it's not our last episode, man. We're coming with some surprises for the month of October for Halloween. We're doing some horror stuff. We're doing some thriller stuff. And we coming out the blue with some surprises, man. So y'all stay in tune with the culture and stay locked in. It's your boy Shooter, my boy to the right Moses, my boy to the left Ace, and we out of here, y'all.
Wish your boy a happy birthday in the comments.
You already know, birthday boy. Yay.
Yay.